What is going on, everybody? This is Jailbreak Weekly, episode number 26. My name is Andy Hoff. I have my co-host with me today, David Burns. What's up, David?
What's up? How you doing?
Oh, yeah, I'm doing pretty good. I don't know. I guess I'm kind of sick, and I think you are too, from what I've heard.
I think it's that time of year where everybody's getting something.
It is, but, I'm still doing good. I'm hanging in there, doing my thing. Yeah.
Now, unfortunately, Justin couldn't join us this week because he is studying for finals.
Yes.
So we wish him the best and good luck on your finals. Hope you do well.
Absolutely.
But yeah, so hopefully, I think he'll be back next week, right?
Yeah, he should be back. I mean, I think things are done differently in Canada with finals, obviously. Different schedule, so. Again, best of luck to him. Hopefully he kicks it all in the rear end.
All right, well, I think we should start.
All right, yeah, absolutely. So we had a fairly busy week in terms of not only jailbreak news, but iOS news as well. So it all started off on Monday. So basically, Apple released the first beta of iOS 9.3, so 9.3 beta 1, and this packs a ton of new features. And of course, like one of the biggest ones being something called Night Shift. And basically what Night Shift is it's Flux-like functionality baked straight into iOS. And if you don't know what Flux is, it's a very popular application. It's actually it's a very popular jailbreak tweak and something that you could sideload as well. That allows you to change the, basically tone of your screen to make things easier on your eyes. It's available on Mac as well. And the developers have, supported a Cydia version for a long time, but either Apple bought the company or they just straight up stole it because it's baked right into iOS 9.3, right into the display and brightness settings. So, it's another tweak that's been Sherlocked. What do you think about this, David?
I mean, that's honestly, I think this is insane. Like, it's really crazy that Apple did something like this because, I mean, I knew that Apple was gonna bake this in iOS eventually. I just didn't think it would be. I mean, we're talking about 9.3, which is really weird because iOS 10, right? iOS 10 is the first beta is gonna be released in the summer, and we're gonna see a preview of that in June at WWDC. But yeah, I would think something like this would be an iOS 10 feature. I wouldn't think that Apple would just, 9.3, okay, let's put Night Shift in this, let's bake this functionality in here and call it Night Shift. Like, I really would have never thought that they would ever do something like this. But there you go. They did it.
Yeah, and I do hear what you're saying, how it would have been more, traditional if they waited till 10. But the thing is, they have to keep people interested. They have to kind of drop small features or drop medium-sized features along the way. So it's good to see, but at the same time, it's a little saddening because it's one less reason to compel people to jailbreak.
Yeah.
But again, it's convenient, and to be honest with you, I actually like the implementation. It's obviously different than Flux, but it works. I have the beta on one of my phones, so yeah, it's there, and I guess there's not going to be any need for Flux at this point forward. But
right.
9.3 also brings some other features. It's packed with bug fixes, and some other actual new features as well. So one of them being the ability to lock notes. That's a popular one. You could actually lock individual notes up.
Right.
And that's convenient. You could also lock them with Touch ID, which is really cool.
Now, I did want to highlight, you did say a problem, because I haven't actually actively used 9.3 on any of my devices yet, but I know you have, and you actually pointed out that there's a flaw in this. Now, I know that, obviously, if it's password coded with Touch ID or password or whatever, the bottom line, the main reason why they included this is so you make notes more secure, and somebody can't randomly get into one of your notes and see what's going on. You could lock it down. Yeah. But the flaw with this, the main problem is the fact, as of right now anyway, 9.3 isn't officially out yet, so things could change. But right now in beta 1.1, which is something we'll talk about a little bit later because 1.1 is a little odd, um, to say the least. But yeah, so in beta 1.1, as of right now, which is the latest beta for 9.3, as of the recording of this podcast, there is a huge flaw, which basically what it is you can still see the text inside of the note when it's locked. So
Yeah, exactly. So basically, if you have the note locked, obviously you tap on the note, it doesn't let you in until you put the password in. But at the same time, like on the list view, when you see all your notes, you can see the beginning text portion of the notes. So it's a beta, so I'm not going to be too hard on them. But at the
right.
same time, obviously that needs to be fixed. So that's just something to note. But anyways, moving down the list of
No,
new
no pun
features here.
intended. I had to say
Yes.
that. Well, you said it's something to note, and we're talking about the Notes app,
Oh,
so I had to say that.
there you go. There you go. But anyways, moving down the list of new features for 9.3, you can actually pair multiple Apple Watches with the phone on 9.3. I don't really see a use case for that. It's kind of strange that they would implement something like this and
I
leave all these
mean,
other features
yeah.
out. But
I mean, if you think about it, it makes
well,
sense because Apple's rumored to come out with the Apple Watch second generation at some point, later on this year. So it would make sense that they would do that. That way, that you could still have the first generation watch paired, but you could
I
also have the
guess.
second generation watch paired as well. So that way, if you have an Apple Watch, the Apple Watch Edition for the first generation, and then you have the Apple Watch Sport for the second, you can't spend as much money as you did before, so you can't get the Apple Watch Edition. So instead, you get the Apple Watch Sport. But the Apple Watch Edition and the Apple Watch Sport are used for two different occasions. So if you want to look classy, then you obviously would wear the Apple Watch
Yeah.
Edition. But if you're jogging or doing something physical, then you don't really want to damage the Apple Watch Edition. So then you take out the Sport. So that would in my opinion anyway, I would see that as possibly the reason why they decided to go with this.
Yeah, I suppose, maybe different watches for different occasions, but at the same time, it's just I doubt that that's a common issue. But once again, it's there, and again, if you need it, it's now implemented. So moving down the list, there's some Apple News improvements. Some new algorithms have been added, basically, just so the articles are more tailored to you. Again, just to improve it a little bit. Health has been updated. It has a little new interface that makes it easier to see certain things like your exercise routines, movements, stuff like that. And also, the CarPlay interface for iOS 9 has some new features. There's a new section and a For You section with Apple Music. So, again, some improvements there. And also with education, there's an education section as
Right.
well.
Has
Basically,
this been like actually released? Because I know like on Apple's website they had talked about the whole thing with education, but has this
yeah.
actually been? I mean, I don't have any of my devices running it. I haven't talked to anybody that's ran it on an iPad yet, so I can't say for sure if this is actually released in 1.1. But
Right. I mean, it includes you could have multiple like shared profiles on the iPad for
right.
students.
And I mean, this
It's
comes in
basically
handy. Yeah, this comes in
classroom
handy
app.
for like schools that are like loaning out iPads to students
Yeah.
because I mean, that way they don't have to, you don't have to put on your tinfoil hat and all,
Yeah, I'd get nervous
NSA
about
and
privacy and
yeah,
stuff like that. But
with
you
all the
know,
profiles and stuff. Yeah,
yeah. So I mean, it's good. It's really cool. I think it's a step towards it's a step in the right direction. Meaning it's a step
yeah,
towards multi-user profile, possibly for everyone in the future. We'll just have to
definitely.
see about
Yeah.
that.
Another thing that's new is the fact that a few new applications got some 3D touch, little shortcuts. So it's actually really awesome because and I don't know why they didn't do this day one, but the settings app now has 3D touch shortcuts. So
Right.
that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Also, I
Definitely.
believe the health app does. I think also Compass and
Stocks too. Yeah.
Stocks as well. I think I may be missing one more, but yeah, there's some more 3D touch application shortcuts in this new update, which is always good.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it just adds, for example, settings. There's like Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, battery, stuff like that. Yeah, again, it never hurts to add more stuff to 3D Touch, add more icon support. So yeah, it's just kind
Right.
of a beefed up OS overall. But enough about the OS itself. We're a jailbreak podcast, so obviously we wanted to talk about the jailbreak news. So basically, shortly after 9.3 was released, the same day that the 9.3 beta was released, Luca Todesco tweeted a video out on Twitter, tweeted a link to a YouTube video of him on an iPhone running 9.3 jailbroken, and he proved this. He went into the settings, showed the new Flux-like implementation with Night Shift. He opened up Cydia, proved he was jailbroken. He had a few tweaks, a few themes installed. So basically, the same exploits that we discussed last week that he has for 9.2.1 and 9.2 also work with 9.3. So basically,
That's fantastic to hear. Sorry for interrupting, but
oh yeah,
on
no
this,
problem.
yeah, that's fantastic to hear because before, and I said this last week too, which is really funny. It's like a repeat of last week's show. But if you weren't here with us last week, what I was saying is it's even though whatever, it's your exploit. You can choose to do what you want, whether you want to release it or hold it off or tease it or whatever. Regardless, if you publicize it and say and show it off and say that you got it working, that's really that speaks that speaks so much about the firmware because then now we know that 9.3 at least beta 1 and I think he didn't show 1.1 but I don't think much changed.
No, I don't think there wasn't much change as far as I know. Yeah.
So we know 9.3 beta 1 and probably 9.3 beta 1.1 can be jailbroken. Even though there's no public jailbreak out, it can be jailbroken. It's not impossible. It can be done. So that's why I like, this kind of stuff. Even though, I'm not going to release it. I'm going to hold it back. Whatever. I mean, it's your decision. You're the one that's making the jailbreak. Whatever you want to do. Obviously, we would love to see a jailbreak release. And if Luca's listening right now, or there's any developers that are making a jailbreak that are listening right now, please release something because every single night when I wake up, or that's not what I'm saying, every single night when I go to bed, I have a dream that a jailbreak releases, then I wake up, check my Twitter
Really?
feed, and
Every
nothing's there.
single night? I had one actually recently. I know this is crazy, but I actually had a dream that a 9.2 jailbreak came out.
Speaking of I have a dream, tomorrow's Martin Luther King Day.
There you go. Yeah, you got to tie it in somewhere,
Yeah, no, but I thought that was funny. Anyway, so yeah, I don't know. That's my opinion about all of it. I mean,
right.
Like I said, it's his
He
exploit.
He has no intentions to release this. He stated this on numerous occasions on Twitter, on Reddit. But there's basically been a new article published to iDigitalTimes from Cammy Harbison, who's a very popular jailbreak writer in the scene. And basically, she got a chance to talk to Luca Todesco about this jailbreak, and obviously, once again, he stated that he's not going to release it. But he actually provided a reason as to why he's not going to release this.
Which is always good, right? Because
a
lot of times, people say, "Oh, I'm not releasing something." They just give no reason, which is also
it's
okay.
good to be in the light.
It's okay, but now we at least know the reason why I'm not releasing. But there's a reason why.
Yeah. So basically, I'll just read the quote from the article. So this is a quote from Luca Tedesco. It's about the fact that the bugs themselves can be dangerous, and there are some exploits that are jailbreak grade and others that are not. So basically what he's saying is the exploits in the jailbreak are too dangerous to be publicly disclosed. So either they could be, because obviously when a jailbreak is released, all the exploits, everything like that, are pushed out to the public. So anybody could look at those exploits and do whatever they want with them. And these exploits are apparently too dangerous to, or basically if they get in the wrong hands, according to Tedesco, bad things could happen, and that's completely understandable. Makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, another thing to look at as well is this developer Luca Todesco has released in the past, even though everybody was all upset because technically it wasn't a release. It was a release as well technically too because he actually uploaded all the source code to the iOS 8.4.1 jailbreak to GitHub, and he published a tool named Yalu, as Andy had just said. But yeah, so this is what that's a full jailbreak, right? Yalu.
It's not necessarily it's not user
no,
friendly, but I believe
in terms of if I
believe all the exploits are there. I'm not positive though.
Right.
That's what I think.
Right. So my point is that if all the exploits are there, basically all you have to do is you have to know your way around coding. You have to know code. You have to know how to compile your own code and stuff. And if you know all of that, then it's probably just as easy as just snapping your fingers, I would assume. But yeah, I mean, he's released before, even though people give him, a lot of hate for, like certain other people who I'm not going to name because we don't want to give him publicity. Um, but yeah, like certain other people in the community that, just go on YouTube trolling and making videos and, saying they're going to release a certain elevator and then they never do it. And yeah, that's all I'm going to say about that. But yeah, so when that kind of thing happens, that's one thing. But then if you have somebody like Luca who's saying, "Hey, this is this is what this is," and then especially for the 8.4.1 jailbreak with Yalu, I'm even though there was no actual jailbreak that came out of that, like actual user jailbreak, like public jailbreak. I'm still thankful that he did that because maybe eventually there will be. I mean, it's right now it really doesn't make much sense to do that, but maybe hey, maybe somebody will randomly get the inspiration to make a fully functioning user jailbreak from that code.
But yeah, basically, yeah, I mean, maybe someone will have the inspiration to do that. But in conclusion, these exploits for his 9.3, 9.2.1, and 9.2 jailbreak are, yeah, potentially too dangerous to be released. So, again, it's just good to see that anything is being worked on and
Right.
anything's possible. So, yeah,
So
there you
this
go.
time around, I was just gonna say, he when he said no release, he meant it. There's no,
Yeah,
what happened with Yalu. I'm gonna release the source code on GitHub. No, he's not doing any of that. He's not releasing this because
right.
it is dangerous. So I just want to make sure everybody, understands that because basically, and the other thing is too. If he does that, a lot of people that are intelligent enough to be able to, understand how all this works, some people could be, could have that code put in the wrong hands. And if that happens, then the exploits could be used in the wrong way. And that's kind of what it sounds like. That if that were to happen, that would be potentially really dangerous. So that is probably one of the main reasons why it is not being released.
Right, exactly. Yeah, yeah, definitely. That makes sense. So yeah. So also something else I wanted to address that we didn't address last week was something else Luca Todesco tweeted out. Basically, he said, this is a quote from him in a tweet. PSA 9.2 is much harder to jailbreak than 9.1, so if you're on 9.1, don't update. So basically, 9.2 plugs a lot of exploits that are still vulnerable in 9.1. So if you're on 9.1, just a PSA to all of our listeners, you may as well stay there just in case someone decides to create a jailbreak for 9.1.
Right. And the reason why we're telling you
Yeah,
to stay there is because 9.1 has not been signed for a long time and it's
that's true.
still obviously at this moment not being signed. So there's, if you decide to upgrade to 9.2 or 9.2.1 beta or 9.3 or 9.3.1 beta or whatever you decide to upgrade to, then there's no going back to 9.1. There's no
Exactly.
possible way to do that. So that's why we're saying to you guys right now, if you're on 9.1 and you want to try the new features in 9.3, hopefully you have a secondary device to do so and you're not doing it on the device that you want to, potentially be jailbroken
Right.
because, then
And,
there's no way to get back down.
well, again, like most likely, we'll eventually we're going to see a new jailbreak release for the latest firmware, but it's just a question of, or it's just the statement of rather, 9.1 because it has all these vulnerable exploits. It
Right.
might receive a jailbreak before 9.2 or something higher than that. So again, if you're on 9.1 right now, you may as well stay there. You have nothing to lose. And you might receive a jailbreak first, but again, don't get your hopes too high because it's no longer the latest public firmware. The motivation to create a jailbreak for it is fairly low. But then again,
Right.
it doesn't hurt. So
Right.
I think that pretty
Well,
much wraps
another,
up our
yeah.
jailbreak news. Did you have something to add?
Yeah, I was just gonna say another
Okay.
thing is when you look at this in comparison with the other in previous years when you look at the comparison of the release of different jailbreaks. I mean, we've been, and I just want to say this for all of our listeners, we've been incredibly lucky over the past I probably want to say year or so with these Chinese jailbreaks because they've been releasing at a really really fast rate. Like
That's true. Much faster than
before
other
these
teams. Yeah.
Chinese yeah before these Chinese jailbreaks there was probably I want to say one jailbreak every I don't know how but it was a long
It
time.
was basically every
So
year for a few
yeah,
years there. Yeah. But again, at the same time, it's it's a whole shift for the community. It's we don't really get very much contact with these teams. But again, I think we at the same time, even though we don't really receive like direct contact or status updates, again we get jailbreaks quicker. So that's definitely a plus for sure. Yeah. So with that being said, we have some really good tweaks to discuss this week. So you want to jump right into that, David?
Yeah, let's go ahead.
Cool. All right, so first up we have NanoChargingView. This one's available for free, and basically what this tweak does is it adds the Apple Watch charging little indicator or animation to iOS. So basically, when you plug your Apple Watch in or when you attach the charger to it, this little circle pops up with the lightning bolt in the middle just when you plug it in. And yeah, it's just a cool little animation. So basically, the same thing applies with this tweak on iPhones or iPods, iPads. Basically, as soon as you plug the device in on the lock screen, it's going to flash a very similar animation or a little very similar image, I guess. And also, whenever you wake the device up, basically, it's going to show that image for a split second as well. So it's cool, if you want to bring something over from the watch to the phone, you could do that. Or also maybe if you just want to, maybe make the watch match the phone. So cool tweak.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm not going to do selfless promotion here because, obviously I made a video, but Andy, you made a video as well. So both of our videos will be down in the show notes. So be sure to check those out.
Definitely, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard to, to visualize something like this. So
yeah,
that's good, But it's not really something that I would, keep on my device. I don't have it installed anymore, but... I always like it when little tidbits are brought over from other devices to
it's really
to
cool.
iPhones.
Yeah,
I mean, why not, right?
Yeah. Well, another thing about this that I like is, and there are certain tweaks that you install it, and there's no settings or options to configure, which is good because it's like, oh yeah, it's super easy, super simple to set up. But another thing is, if you want to get rid of this and you want to turn it off, the only way to turn it off is to either boot into safe mode or uninstall it. So, this is convenient because this has an enabled or disabled switch. So you can just go into settings and turn it off if you want to still have it installed, but don't want it to actually, be enabled at that point in time. So, I definitely like when tweaks do that. And, especially when it doesn't require a respring, you could just do it on the fly. That's another really good part about this tweak is that you can just do it on the fly. So I mean, it's definitely a really cool tweak. I liked it a lot, and it was one of those tweaks that I was able to record a video within 2 minutes, and it was an okay video to make. It didn't really kill me that much because I was sick today, so it was kind of hard to push that out, and I was, Andy was encouraging me to do it. He was like, you got to do it, and I was like, all right.
Sometimes you just got to do it, You just got to do it.
So it was much easier to get that out than a certain tweak we're going to be talking about later on in the show. But yeah, so that's pretty much it, I guess.
Yeah, so once again, NanoChargingView, all one word, it's available for free. So next up we have attached...
did we say who it was by?
I don't think we did. I mean, I don't think we really usually do we?
Do we? I thought we did. Yeah.
I guess we could. All right.
Don't we normally? I thought we did.
I don't know. I don't usually. You guys usually come in and say it. I usually don't say it.
Oh, okay. I'll say it if you want to.
Yeah, just go ahead.
Who is this by the way?
Billy Ellis.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. So I mean, this is another one of those tweaks that Billy Ellis has made, and he's made a lot of other really good tweaks actually. So I'm hoping that this is another one of these tweaks, and that's why I like these simple free jailbreak tweaks. I'm hoping it's one of these tweaks that is around for a little while, and next year for 10, if 10's a big change, with the whole jailbreak, world in terms of what's going on with tweaks and stuff. I'm hoping that right out of the gate, this is going to be compatible. That's what I'm hoping for anyway. That it's one of these tweaks that's going to be compatible right out of the gate.
Yeah, me too. And it seems like it. I mean, I'm not a developer, but it doesn't look like it. It's incredibly intricate. But yeah, once again, it's called NanoChargingView. It's available for free. So next up, we have AttachmentFlow. This one's available for $1.99. And basically, what this tweak basically enhances the way that attachments are managed in the stock mail app.
Right.
So the flagship feature of it is the ability to preview attachments straight from the email list, so straight from the mail app. So basically, if there's an image or a document or any kind of attachment, normally to actually see that attachment, you have to click into the individual email, but this will basically display a little preview if there's an attachment on the individual email. So you can see a little preview of it, whether it be a photo or a document. You could actually click on it directly from the email list and kind of expand it. So that's the flagship feature. There's also a little paperclip icon at the bottom of the mail app. You could just quickly toggle on and off to completely disable a tweak in the mail app, which is really cool. So maybe you just don't want all those attachments to show, to preview, so you could disable it easily. You could also tap and hold on that same button to filter, so basically you tap and hold, then you get a set of options. Basically, you could click on one, like for example, pictures, documents, or all attachments, and if you click on any of those, it'll provide a list of basically all the attachments that pertain to that type of attachment, if that makes any sense. But
Yeah.
bottom line, the flagship feature is just previewing attachments. So what do you think about this?
I mean, I don't know if it's really something I would use because I'm gonna be honest. I really don't use the stock mail app like at all.
Oh, really?
For mail, normally I use the Gmail app.
Okay.
So because I have a Gmail, so I really just don't mess around with the stock mail app. But I mean, yeah, if I use the stock mail app a lot, this is definitely something that I'd take a look at. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually do use the stock mail app. I use it for all of my email accounts. I have several accounts. So, I could work this into my workflow, but to be honest, I rarely, never, it's either never or it's extremely rarely do I receive emails with attachments. And if I do, it happens so rarely that I just click into the email. It's not really something that I would need to kind of enhance. But then again, I know tons of people out there who are receiving attachments every day, and maybe it's annoying to them that they have to click into the email to see a preview. So again, it's a great tweak and it does exactly what it says. So I respect it, but again, it's just not really something that I would take or find use in, I guess.
Right. This is free, right?
No, it's actually 199.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, that changed my perspective on it a little bit because I thought it was a free just because I mean, I don't know. I think stuff like this, like for some reason I always feel like it's free.
Well, I mean, it's pretty intricate. Like, it looks like a lot of work was put into it.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess that's how developers judge, how they should price it depending on how much time they've put into developing the tweak. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, the way I saw it in the video, I guess looks pretty intricate. Because you did do a video on this, and we'll obviously have that in the show notes.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know if I would use this. I don't think even if I used the default mail app, I really don't think I would.
Yeah, I just don't receive enough attachments to really need something like this. But again, for that population that does, it does a great job. So yeah, if you want to see what it looks like, just check the video out, I guess. But once again, 199. It's called AttachmentFlow. So next up, we have iKeys, and this one's available for free. And basically, this is a tweak that allows you to theme the iOS keyboard. And there's many tweaks that allow you to do this. We've seen many, throughout the past few years. And of course, also in the App Store, there's different keyboards you can download that look different. But I appreciate this particular tweak because for one, it extends past just allowing you to customize the color of keyboards, because a lot of tweaks do that. They just let you change the color. This actually allows you to download themes within the tweak
Right.
that are actually pretty unique. So there's like different ones that allow you to change like the border of each individual key. There's this one that lets you like have a ripple effect whenever you tap. It's actually really cool. And yeah, I don't know. I just thought it provided some cool looking themes that we hadn't seen in any App Store keyboard or Cydia tweak. So
Right.
basically, it's a free tweak as I mentioned, but there are some like professional paid aspects that you could unlock. But to be honest with you, the free content section of the tweak is plenty for me. And it actually installs an application on your home screen. There's no settings panel. It's just this app. And then once you go into the app, you could turn the tweak on or off. There's a toggle switch. Then you could go into free content and basically download themes. There's about, I would say, maybe 12 themes to choose from, somewhere around there. And again, they're all free. So yeah, it's just provide some cool themes for the keyboard, basically.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's one of these things where it's normally not something, before someone said, "Oh, hey, you could change like the way the keyboard looks," before iOS 8, whatever. Other than that, it's just kind of like I really didn't think I would need something like this just because I wouldn't have even. It's like one of these things that it's like you wouldn't think to do it, but then after somebody said, "Oh, hey, you can do this." Oh, okay, I really wanted to do that. So, I actually, depending on what happens, the developer did actually contact me. So, depending on what happens, I may be doing a review of the
Oh,
full
cool,
version of
nice.
this tweak soon. So, look out for that. But yeah, I mean, from what the developer showed me, it looks really, really nice. I mean, you could also have like videos in the background of the keyboard as well.
Oh wow, I haven't
So
even checked
that's
that out.
yeah,
That might be a pro feature, I would assume,
yeah, I
right?
think so.
Okay.
I don't know if it's like a video from your camera roll, but I do know like he showed me that it's like you could put like gifs behind it. So there was one that was like the Black Ops 3 logo, and it was like a gif. And that's like Call of Duty, so it was really I thought it was cool because I like Call of Duty, and I
Right.
play it a
Yeah.
lot, so I thought it was a pretty cool idea.
Right. Yeah. Definitely. And I actually like the ripple effect. It's what's it called? Let me check. Okay, so it's called Ripple Keys. That's one of my favorite themes. Basically, it changes some colors up, but it also like whenever you tap on the keyboard, it provides this really cool ripple effect, and that's what I mean by cool themes. It extends beyond just like even color configuration. You could do all kinds of cool stuff. You could like these themes add features to the keyboard like ripples or borders, different background colors. So it's just a cool theming tool basically for your keyboard. So once again, it's free. So and again, with the free portion of it, you could do just fine, get some really cool stuff. So definitely go check this one out. Once again, it's called iKeys, and it's from developer Orange Banana Spy. Yeah, so there you go. So next up, we want to talk about Olympus, and this is the updated version for iOS 9. Basically, Olympus was around back on iOS 8, and basically this tweak allows you to it's like an app switcher control center music control fusion. So it's very similar to tweaks like Oxo or Sang, but it has a completely different kind of take on the whole interface.
Right.
Basically, the first page of the tweak contains basically this is the app switching portion of the tweak, and it's basically a grid view, so it's like a grid app switching view, but it's customizable. Basically, you could pinch in and out on this screen, and it'll customize basically whether it's, for example, like a 4x4 grid, or maybe a I don't know, 3x3 or a 3x3 grid, or and if you continuously pinch out, it'll eventually get to a point when it's just the app icon and that there's not even going to be a preview. And then if you zoom all the way in, you could have it so there's just one app per page. So basically, it's a very customizable app switcher. You could do grid, you could do, one app per page, you could do just the icon. So it's basically a really customizable app switcher. It's kind of hard to explain. Both David and I have videos on this tweak, so we'll drop those in the show notes. But
Right.
basically, if you swipe over one more time, then there's one more time to the right, then it's going to bring you to the music controls. Basically, that's exactly as you'd expect. It's very well designed. All the controls are laid out very nicely, album artwork and everything. Then if you swipe again, you'll be getting the toggles view. There's some really cool toggles in here, much more than Apple ever supplied us with. For
Right.
example, there's like VPN, Touch ID, stuff like
Yeah.
that. There's also brightness and AirDrop. So, in conclusion, it's just a highly customizable app switcher tweak. So, what do you think about this, David?
Well, initially when this came out on iOS 8.
Right.
And
Yeah.
when this first came out, I was actually in camp. So I, for whatever reason, just never actually checked out this tweak. Even though I had numerous chances, I was just like, I put it off, and I was just like, I'm content with Oxo. But when the updated version came out, a little while ago for iOS 9, I was like, I really should give this tweak a try. And what I really like about this, I don't know if, and this is, happened, by the way, this is not just for, Olympus, this is for Oxo as well. This happened with Oxo 3 for iOS 9. You could use Oxo Legacy Edition. There was kind of a little bit, of an Easter egg there where you could use that. You could use that type of functionality, which was really cool. So I'm not sure if it's supposed to be like this. It's kind of like an Easter egg of the tweak. But basically, if you have OXO 3 for iOS 9 installed and you have Olympus installed, by going in, I think it's like, I forget what it's called. I think it's like switcher options or whatever, and you do like system default or control center or whatever it says, and you swipe up, you can actually still get the OXO 3 for iOS 9 app switcher card view. But then if you double tap, you can get the Olympus app switcher card view. So you can actually have both installed side by side working simultaneously. So I think that's a pretty cool feature.
Yeah, definitely. And just on its own, it's a really great tweak. Like, of course, I checked this out back on iOS 8, and I really loved it then. But I think I have just maybe I've spent a little more time with it, and I really appreciate it more. And to be honest with you, like but before I installed this tweak a few days ago, the updated iOS 9 version, I was completely in on OXO 3. That was what I used for everything. I used it for closing applications by swiping up. On the bottom of the screen, I used it for my app switcher, the multi-center, the quick switcher. But now, I gotta say, I'm still using Olympus for all those things, and I'm very happy. Like, for example, when the ability to close an app, that's something we haven't discussed. Basically, if there's a setting in the preferences that lets you swipe up on the bottom of the screen to close apps, just the speed of that animation is incredibly fast. It's much faster than OXO or Sang.
Right.
And also, I really like the customizability of the app switcher. Just all the different modes you could get, how you can pinch in and out, and of course the animations are beautiful. Right. This is a tweak that was designed by Shernix, and developed by Kyle Howell. So with that Shernix,
Shernix is incredibly amazing at designing stuff. Oh, yeah. So it's no surprise here that this is such an elegant tweak.
Oh yeah, definitely. So I like the looks, I like the speed, and to be honest, I'm pretty sure that I'm going to be sticking with this as opposed to OXO, and that's a very bold thing for me to say. Like I really think this tweak, it's worth a shot. Like definitely give it a try.
Right. And another thing that you just pointed out that I actually did not notice up until when I was actually FaceTiming you after I made and uploaded the video that I actually made on this tweak, which was how you can pinch and zoom in and out of the different app switcher cards. That's a really cool feature.
That's one of my favorites.
Yeah, I didn't talk about it in my review because unfortunately I didn't realize it was actually a feature until when Andy and I were FaceTiming and I was telling him about the video and he was like, "Oh, you forgot to say this." I was like, "Oh man." So that's something I didn't say. I guess that's pretty much it.
Yeah, definitely. So so it's a free update. This is really cool. So if you owned it back on iOS 8 like I did, it's a free update. Just install it and go. But if you're new to it, it's $3.99. And it's definitely worth the price. I know it's fairly steep for tweaks, but there was a lot of work put into this, and it's worth it if you're looking for an app switcher tweak. There you go, Olympus. So next up, our fifth and final tweak is Forever Notification. And basically, this tweak is very simple. What it's going to do is if you have a notification on your lock screen, if you receive a lock screen notification, even if you unlock your device, that notification will stay on the lock screen when you return to the lock screen until you manually dismiss it or view the notification. So basically, it just makes notifications stick on the lock screen if you receive them on the lock screen. So this is very handy if you tend to get notifications and then forget about them. This will just keep it there, and, keep bugging you about it until you do something. So kind of like it brings some notification center like functionality to the lock screen. So what do you think about this?
I mean, it's pretty interesting. I have had those times where I saw a notification and I was just too slow to actually interact with it, and then I had to swipe down and get notification center and all that, which honestly isn't that bad. I can understand if you're watching like a video or playing a game or something and you don't want to actually swipe down and go through notification center, because then it pauses or stops whatever you're doing. So I can understand that because that's more of an intrusion, whereas with a single notification it's a little bit easier to keep whatever you're doing going in the background. So I can understand why this tweak is a thing, but I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I would use it.
Yeah, it's actually something that I do have installed right now, and I like it. It might annoy me eventually, and I might uninstall it, but as of right now, it's done me some good. Sometimes I do forget about messages, and earlier today I received a message from David, and I was I was in my phone scrolling through the pages, going on Twitter, whatever. I went back to the lock screen, and sure enough, it was still there, and it kind of reminded me to reply. So again, it does what it says, and to be honest, this is something that I'm probably going to be keeping there. So once again, forever notification. It does what it says. It's free, so go check it out.
Was that me?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Is your phone not on?
I thought it was. Why
That's
is it
okay.
ringing all of a sudden? What the Okay, whatever.
It's all right.
I
Don't
don't
worry
understand
about it.
this.
You know what? I think we're both like half delusional right now because we're
Okay.
sick. So
Well,
it's
all
probably
right,
fine.
whatever. Here, I'll just continue.
Anyways, yeah. So
Here, I'll pick up.
okay, go ahead.
So I guess that you needed that, huh? To remind yourself that you needed a response. So I guess it's a
Yeah.
good tweak to have.
This is good, because I know you guys sometimes get frustrated.
Yeah.
That I sometimes drop off the
Andy,
map for a few
answer.
hours.
Yeah.
So this will help me stay on track.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm very distractible, so this is good for someone like me. Is this something you'd use, David?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. I haven't actually played around with it yet. I haven't installed it. But I think after the podcast is done, yeah, I think I probably will install it just to see how this would function. And I may do a video on it. Who knows? I'm not sure if it's one of these things that, one of these tweaks that is video where, I mean, there are some tweaks that are obviously like Olympus or OXO or one of those kinds of tweaks that are obviously video worthy, but something like this, it's so small. But then again, NanoChargingView is like extremely small as well. So, and I did a video on that. So I don't know. I guess I'll give this a fair, shot at making a video.
Oh yeah, and by the way, I forgot to ask you: are you planning on keeping Olympus or OXO?
So right now, the setup that I have actually, I really like. I really like having both Olympus
Right?
and OXO
Yeah, 'cause
side
they
by
work
side.
with each other.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool.
And also, I did want to point out, speaking of our videos and everything, we actually ran a poll. We started this last week. We said, actually, Justin had a proposition for us. So this is kind of our way of getting Justin in this episode. But yeah, so he had a little proposition for us to do a friendly poll on Twitter. So we did do that, and the winner was me. So
Yay.
sorry, Andy.
It's okay. You know what? It was the display candy review. That was what
Yeah.
the poll was on. We basically both did reviews, and we just wanted to put them head to head, see what our fans liked better. And David won fair and square, and I gotta hand it to you. It was a great video. So
Yeah. Well,
there you go. Yeah.
honestly, I'm really surprised that mine won over yours because you just go incredibly into detail every single video.
Well, thank
and
you
I'm
for
not
that.
like that.
Oh no, it was a great. It was honestly, it was a fair shot. And you won. I mean,
Yeah.
it was a great video. So
Yeah.
we should do stuff like this more often. It's kind
Yeah.
of fun,
I don't
See
know.
what our
Maybe
viewers
we'll
think.
do. You know what? Let's do another poll this week. Do you want to do
Oh,
that?
okay. All right. Yeah. Let's do
Okay.
it.
Let's do a poll this week again for. Let's try for Olympus this time. I
Okay.
guess. You wanna
My
do that?
video's from like August, but yeah, sure. Let's just do it anyway.
Oh yeah, because you didn't. You didn't update it for 9, but whatever.
Yeah,
It doesn't
it's
matter.
fine.
Yeah.
It still applies.
Yeah. Okay. So we're doing it for Olympus. Well, hopefully we'll get the tweet, the poll up before, next year because Andy literally took forever to put the
Next
poll up.
year. Yeah, I don't know. I wanted to give people the time to listen. I also just
Right.
partially forgot about it.
Yeah.
So.
No, I understand that, and I was I messaged Andy. I think it was yesterday, and I was like,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
completely
it was
forgot about the poll, didn't you? And you were like, oh,
I
yeah.
50% forgot about it. 50%. But yeah. So that should be fun for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we'll see who wins this time around.
Definitely, the battle is on.
Yeah.
So I think that just about wraps up our tweak section. Yeah. So anything else you wanted to talk about before we wrap this up?
Not really. I think we're good for this week.
Nice. All right, cool. So with that being said, thanks to all of you who stuck with us from beginning to end. Thanks for tuning in.
You know, this was
Um,
really not that bad. I'm just saying, because now it's 11 o'clock and we're still in one piece with this recording.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
like,
definitely.
we're never like this. Like, if you guys didn't know, we actually record at like 1 o'clock in the morning. So, since, that makes us really tired. So, that's the reason
Right.
why we do it. So we're actually on task and, doing what we're supposed to be
Yeah,
doing.
because like I think we all have some degree of ADD, and to be
Yeah.
honest, like if it's not the middle of the night and we're not like half asleep, we have too much energy. We can't
Yeah.
focus. So
So, you know what? We actually did good, I think.
yeah, I think we did too. I think it was some
Yeah.
some good discussions, and I was able to stay on task. So
There you go. Yeah.
good stuff.
Good stuff. Yeah. All right. Well, we will talk to you guys next week. Andy, you want to take us out?
Absolutely. So yeah, again, thanks to everyone for tuning in. Thanks to all our viewers for sticking with us, and we'll be back next week with some more jailbreak discussions. Peace out, guys.
See ya.
Bada boom. Bada boom.
Okay.
I
Well,
think that was pretty good. Like we had a few hiccups at the beginning, but to be honest, for the most part, I think that was pretty. Pretty good. Straight through.
we messed up a lot while recording this episode. Here are some bloopers. And as always, what is going on, guys? Welcome to Jailbreak Weekly, episode number 26. And here I have my wonderful co-host, Andy Hoff. But yeah, he's not doing the introduction. I mean, I'm not doing it. Yeah. Okay, that whole thing was just a huge blooper right there anyway. So. But you can also have the second generation watch paired as well. So that way, if you have an Apple Watch, the Apple Watch Edition for the first generation, and then you have the Apple Watch Sport for the second, you can kind of, match.
Yeah. Oh my god, I just completely up. Oh man. My throat is so messed up.
I heard that. Yeah, I could hear it in your voice.
Oh god. Yeah. What is it? Okay. All right. Reset. Here we go. I'm ready to go. This is
Jailbreak Weekly in the Infirmary. Yeah,
Exactly.
there you go.
That needs to be the title.
Yeah.
Okay. Here we go. Reset. Okay. Ugh, I don't even know what I was gonna say. Okay. What was I gonna say?
Well, that's an issue.
Oh, right. Okay, now I know what I'm going to say. All right. But yeah, basically in conclusion, he stated that the exploits are not going to be released because they're too dangerous, so at least now we know. But at the same time, again, it's just... Wait, okay, let me start that over.
Okay.
So, this is cool if you just...
Why isn't your ringer off?
I'm sorry. Yeah.
I heard it.
It's
I was
okay.
wondering
It's okay
what
to have a
we should
few
do.
dings.
No, because the reason why is because I was trying to text you to say what we should do eventually in the show.
Oh, well...
I thought your ringer was off, and I didn't know
I'm
that
sorry.
it was. Yeah.
I dropped the ball on that.
So it kind of
That was
interrupted
easy.
what you were saying. So maybe you should start over.
It's okay. It's a little dink every once in a while is fine. I'd say.
Yeah, I know, but it was da 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 da. It was loud.
Okay. Here we go. One more time. All right. So first up, we have NanoCharging. Oh my god.
It's just gonna be it's the whole bloopers reel is just gonna be you messing up because of your throat.
I have this problem. I can't speak. I was cursing when I was trying to record. Oh, man. Okay. Here we go.
Oh, trust me, I do that all the time.
Oh yeah. Okay. All right.
I'm not gonna do selfless.
Selfless promotion.
Yeah, I got tongue tied on that. All right, I'm gonna start over. Definitely, and I'm not gonna do selfless promote. Okay.